last time on the last recording, the music was off.
What do you mean off?
I can't explain it. It was just quiet, but that's all right. We'll see how this goes. This one goes now.
It's like a little pre-show, you know?
Right.
Oh man, we are back. And I am almost here forgetting what to do and when to say and when to speak. This is Judgmentalist. I am your co-host here on Big Sexy's Digital Nomad. I am back again from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada.
There you go.
And what did I miss? What did I miss? We are shaking out the Mustangs here.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're doing, but hey, this is I think this will drop as episode 39. We've totally recorded some more. But again, our promise to you is that we get our shit together by episode 80.
Yes.
And as Bon Jovi would say, well, no, not quite yet. He won't say we're halfway there till next week. So
right. So we have some time before we get to say, oh, we're halfway there, but we're still living on prayers and
we are very much living on a prayer. That is true.
Yes, sir.
So what's going on, man?
Before we begin, hello, world travelers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is hitting your ear holes. I hope things are well. Thank you for tuning in. Things are good. I am still in Banal Madina, which I've been told how to say it properly, because before I was saying it like, Banal Medina, which I still kind of say it because it's funny. It's funnier that way. But apparently it's Banal Madina, which in my brain I just hear Banal Madina, Banal Madina, Banana. Yeah, so that's where we're
All right, you got to stop it there. We're going to get a cease and desist.
Right. So yeah, things are going great. I met up with some other digital nomads and other world travelers in this group. So I met. So it started by a wife went to a pole class. One of the other girls in the pole class was a part of this group, and she's from Boston. Shout out to Kelsey. She hit my wife to the group, and then my wife got me in the group. And I'm the social butterfly, so I immediately started going out into all the events and seeing what's going on and checking people out. And man, this group is great. It's wonderful. And it's funny because there's like not two, but there's several different packs in the group, if you will. Because right now the group has like over 300 people in it.
Wait, what kind of group is this that has 300 people? Is this like
it's a WhatsApp group?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because if you got 300 people showing up to a place or thing at a time, that's an army.
Yeah. So no, people aren't showing up. There are that many people in the group. When they do an event, depending on who does the event and where the event is, anywhere from 6 to 20 people will show up. So
okay,
far, it's been my experience so far. Not the last group, but the first thing we went out to was there was I mentioned before, we went out to the beach and met with this group. And I talked about the group before, but since then they had a wine Wednesday that I went to. Now I don't drink wine, but I just went for the social
not with that
aspect.
attitude. You don't.
You damn right. And but I still went and met with all these wonderful people. So a big shout out to Jules, who put the group together. Shout out to Denny, who put the wine group together. And then sat and met and talked with all these wonderful people. Now, I am, how would you say, a late nighter. I like to stay out late, and I also have severe FOMO. So I didn't want to leave. So the party shifted from location to location. I shifted with the party. So the first place we went to was a bar called Araboca. which is a little wine and food place in Malaga Central. And we met up there and hung out. And I'm going to list the names of the people because I took notes because I want to be sure to remember people's names. So everybody I talked to. So shout out to Denny, Elisa, Yasmin, Jules, Paco, Naz, Nicole, Loyenke, Karen, Camila, Cami. She goes by Cami. Lydio, Pierre. Um, and that's everybody that I met there.
Sweet.
Uh, then after that, we all went to not we all, but some of us went over to Morrissey's, which is an Irish pub in Malaga Central. We sat there, talked, and they had beers and I had water. And we chatted because I also don't drink beer. We chatted and hung out for there a little bit, and then we closed that place down. And then from there, we went over to this bar called Tennessee's, which cracks me up that I went to a place that sounds very Spanish in Ataboca, and then I went to an Irish pub and then a nightclub called Tennessee's.
Well, it's good to see that it's not just Americans that are appropriating other cultures. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I
Right.
don't mean that in a negative way. Because sometimes when people use that word, that term cultural appropriation, they mean it in a negative way. I absolutely do not mean it that way. But
Yeah.
because
There are
it's
a lot of
nice
Irish pubs here
to
in
have
Spain.
some variety
Yeah.
wherever you go and to
Um,
get a look into what I'll say is some version of another culture.
right. Now, Tennessee's didn't offer any kind of version of American culture. It was just a building where they played Spanish music and everybody danced. So, and it was too dark to actually see any of the decor,
Yeah.
if you will. It was also like 3:30 in the morning, and I wasn't really trying to pay attention to the decor. I was just having a good time. So there was only like five of us who went there, and then Denny.
You think that instead of them trying to be an Americanized place, they're just fans of Arrested Development?
I don't even think they know who Arrested Development is. I'm pretty sure our listeners may not even know who Arrested Development is.
Yeah, I guess that
Uh,
is a little bit of a throwback showing my
yeah,
age, huh?
yeah, right, Sean. Definitely. If you know who Arrested Development is, chime in. Let us know. Send it. Put a comment in the. Uh, send us a tweet and let us know
And
that you know the
don't be
Arrested Development.
telling me about when you if you think you know who Arrested Development is and you're wondering why they're saying who and not what, then you're thinking about the TV show, not the band
Right,
or performing group,
right.
whatever.
Band works. That works. So yeah, so we hung out on, and I didn't get home that day until like 5 in the morning.
Nice, nice.
Um, and so that was on a Wednesday, and then there was another meetup on Friday, um, where we all went to Morrissey's again because apparently Morrissey's is a favorite place of theirs. Um, and we hung out, and that's where I met. That's where I finally met Kelsey. Um, And all night I was like, "Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you, Thank Kelsey. Thank you. Just hey, Kelsey. Kelsey. Thank you. Hey, yo, Kelsey. Thank you." I just kept saying that over, over and over and over again, um, because she's the reason I was there. Meeting so many people, hanging out. I met Krissa that night. I met Aya, who is Naz's sister. I met Lawrence. Um, I got a chance to actually talk and chat with Nicole, who I mentioned earlier, and so it was really cool. Sat and chat, but I didn't stay that long that night because I wasn't going to try to take an Uber back because we were spending way too much money in Ubers. So I had to take a bus back. Um, and it was an hour. It's an hour bus ride, which is very interesting. Um, to get to the central, right? Because the bus stop is right by where we're staying, so it's
Okay.
easy. It's hop on. It's not expensive. It's only like a euro 50 or whatever, euro 75 tops to take the bus, and then after you get off the bus, all the way in Malaga Central, it's like a 10-minute walk to everybody that was hanging out or whatever. So it was easy peasy. Did it and got to hang out. Loved hanging out and talking, chatting, getting to know people deeper. It was really wonderful. They're really a great group of folks. They're from all over the place. Like Denny that I mentioned is from Germany. I think Jules, who put the group together, is Dutch. A lot of Dutch folks in the group. Some Argentinians, a couple Spaniards, some French. Uh, Nas and his sister are Libyan. We're American, so it's a nice eclectic group of folks from all over. Chris is Greek,
Oh
and
wow.
yeah, so it's been a joy hanging out with them, and that was Friday. Saturday, we went. They had a beach party, and we went out to a beach at La Caleta. Um, where actually the wife got to go, and we went this time. We went out there. We took Fox out. Um, Rode out there. It was a great beach day. Really enjoyed sitting out in the sun, laughing, talking. Met some other folks. I met Saskia, who's also Norwegian. Um, and just laid out and just had some fun. I actually got in the water. I actually got my entire body in the Mediterranean, but that was FOMO once again
Yep.
because everybody was in the water, and I didn't want to be the only one not getting in the water. So I got my happy self in the water, and and then it was cold, so I got my happy ass out the water. Went and laid down and talked and sat and chilled, and just again had a wonderful day, lovely, hot. Um, but sat and talked with folks and really enjoyed it. And that was Saturday. Sunday. I mean, this is how busy things go, right? Now Sunday was different. We didn't think with the group on Sunday, but Sunday, our friends Mar and Dhruv, who I've talked about before on the podcast, who we met
Yeah.
on the cruise, who live in Malaga, we went and hung out with them at their place in El Palo, Malaga. Um, and Mar cooked this lovely uh, vegan bolognese. It was delicious with pasta. It was great. We sat in there and ate. We A bird flew into the apartment because they had these really large open windows, and a little bird flew in the apartment. And then, when it tried to get out, it went the wrong way and slammed into the window. So we were all like, "Oh no, this bird! What happened? Oh no!" And so we like carefully we're trying to care for it. We didn't want to, you don't want to touch birds too much because then if they're part of you can't get your human all over it. Don't get the human all over the bird.
I
So I was
heard
able.
recently that was a myth.
Well, it may be, but we weren't going to take any chances because we weren't googling this shit up
Fair
in
enough.
the moment.
Yeah.
Right. So I found a bag and I kind of nestled it near the edge and it wasn't moving. I mean, it was kind of moving, but it was alive, but it wasn't flying. It wasn't like it looked dazed, right? So we kind of put it on the windowsill outside, and then kind of closed the entry so it couldn't come back in that way. And it sat there forever. And then we decided to go to the beach. We're like, well, we'll see if it's there when we get back. And luckily, thankfully, it wasn't. It had finally left, or it plummeted down to the floor and committed suicide. I have no idea what happened to the bird, but I didn't see any bird carcass when we left that night. So I'm pretty sure it flew off, and it had a great story to tell about these crazy humans who trapped it, then put on a hot ass windowsill, then covered it in water and tried to debate about nursing it back to health with fruit juice, and then finally flew off. So I'm pretty sure that bird has a wonderful story to tell to all its bird friends. But we hung out with them. I taught them how to play mahjong, like you do. So I had another mahjong Sunday, which is great. And So that was Sunday. And then yesterday was Monday, and I hung out with Krissa, who's the girl from Greece. She came to Banal Madana, and we went out to the beach and hung out on the beach. I don't know if you've been on my Instagram post, but I've been doing daily beach pics.
Oh yeah.
I go out, take a picture of me at the beach, and then I go do whatever I need to do. I love it because it kind of forced me to go to the beach. Now, come later this week, we're actually moving uh, closer to Malaga Centro, which may be a little bit further to get to a beach. So, but I am making the determination right now to keep in line with the tradition of taking a daily beach pick. So, however far it is to get to the beach, I'll walk there each day, get my daily beach pick, and then that'll kind of force me to walk around and see the city and see where we're at and get to know a little bit more about Malaga. So yeah, that's what's been happening. So yeah, shout out to all the people who've hung out and been really cool and really chatted. Really major shout out to Krista, who's awesome and came out this way and spent the day. And shout out to all those wonderful Malaga folks.
That's
And a
awesome.
good
It's
time. Yeah.
awesome because I mean, I can imagine that it's very easy to go someplace where you don't really know where you are, and obviously, what I'm about to describe is not your personality type, but to go there and be intimidated with the language barrier and everything like that, and then just become a recluse and a shut in and not get out and meet new people and not experience all of the things. And I mean, again, obviously that does not match your personality, but you
At
know,
all.
it even if it does, like when you got an opportunity like this, I want to highly encourage anybody to go out there and just meet people and hang out because you don't, everybody's got a different story. Everybody's got a different set of experiences, something that you can give to them, take from them, and really just enhance each other's lives. It's super cool.
Yeah, I think what I made him doing is the same thing I did on the cruise ship is when we move, maybe set up do some live drops with folks and record some, just get some interview folks on the cast. Like maybe do a live interview, invite people up, like set up in a booth somewhere, someplace that has Wi-Fi, and just set up my microphone. Even though the background noise, that's fine. We can deal with that. Um, and get people sitting down and telling us their story, right? I think our listeners would love hearing that, right? Love meeting other folks from around the world and
Yeah.
hearing their story, how they came to Malaga, how what they're doing in life. It's really easy. It's much better for them to tell their story than for me to tell their story. I like it much better if the listeners hear from them directly. So I'm going to see about setting that up, and it should make for great content, which is what we're striving to do here.
I think it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I'm getting
Um,
energized like like those old people in Cocoon when they went swimming in that pool, as referenced
man,
by Paul Mattingly and
I was
Ice
gonna say,
Cream
what
Social.
is this? The showing your age fucking episode?
Yeah, well, no, that apparently you haven't listened to the latest episode of ICS.
Oh no, no, no.
Yeah,
I just got back from traveling.
yeah.
I get behind on
Those
podcasts.
who, if you know, you'll understand the reference why I'm referencing Cocoon, and the energy of an old person who ends up swimming in water that they tend to be Cocoon. Yeah, that's the reference. But yes, also referencing old folks. So yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah. I'll get there. I'll get caught up this week. What day is
Right.
it? It's Tuesday,
It's
right?
Tuesday.
So
As we're
I will
recording this is Tuesday. And that's
I will
because you were traveling yesterday, right?
yeah, yeah, yesterday was a travel day for me, and, coming that going west is easy. Going west is an absolute breeze, at least in my opinion, because I get on a flight that leaves at, let's say, 10 a.m. East Coast time. I'm in the air for 5 hours. I land, it's noon.
Right.
And you can't fucking beat it.
Coming
But
back.
when you come back, you get on a flight at 10 a.m. You're in the air for 5 hours, and it's 6:30 when you
Right.
get 7 o'clock by the time I was getting picked up to ride home after getting luggage and everything like that. So it takes 2 hours to go west. It takes all day to come east. So
Right.
definitely a big difference. And I just kind of zoned out and allowed that. I slept a little bit, but really, I just took yesterday to sit there and kind of reflect and absorb on the week that I was out there in Las Vegas. And
So
you know,
reflect. Tell us about it.
I knew without knowing that it was going to be a good week, and I was wrong. It
Oh.
was a great week. It
Oh, good. Okay, good.
was holy shit. I'm going to start by saying, before I get too deep into what the week was, I just want to take a little bit of time for any of your Vegas local friends who might be listening to this. I know you're not Vegas local anymore, but the friends still are,
Right.
probably many of them. If you have not seen Kevin Lepine's Hypnosis Unleashed show, generally it's Tuesday through Saturday at the Four Queens, 9 p.m., you're fucking missing out. If you know Big Sexy because you're an entertainer and you have not seen this show, you are really missing out. It is, I mean, he is a master of his craft. He puts on a tremendous show. And because of the nature of what it is, and because of who he is, it is an extremely different show every night. Now, I got to see the show 5 nights in a row because I got there a night early. One of the other people who I connected with who was in the class ahead of time was like, "Hey, are you going to Mike Hammer's show?" Mike Hammer is a comedy magician who does a comedy magic show in the same showroom at 7 o'clock. So they run the same schedule. In fact, they coordinate the same off nights, the same dark weeks, generally things like that, just because of that 1-2 punch. They share the tech crew, they share marketing guy. You know, their tech crew is actually out on Fremont Street before the shows. Um, drumming up business and getting butts in seats and everything like that. So, it's a really fun 1-2 punch. And I don't mean to, I went out there for the hypnosis. So I'm going to talk about the hypnosis. Hammer show is great
Right.
too, in its own way, and also very different every night which is generally the case when you have audience interaction shows,
Right.
because there
Well, that's the
becomes a
joy about
point.
audio interaction shows that they're different.
Yeah, and
Each
there
night is
becomes
different.
a point, if you're doing it right, where there are moments, and there should be numerous moments in these shows where you as a performer fade into the background a little bit and let those audience members who are interacting steal the show. Not in a way that it gets off the rails, but that they truly, if you're doing it right, should have moments in which they're the stars of the show. Now, in Kevin's show, that's the whole point. The audience members become the stars of the show. For anybody out there, and I'm sure it's almost all of you who have not seen his show, you likely have some sort of preconceived notion about what a hypnosis show is. You've probably heard of people humping chairs or grinding on the
Which is
hypnotist,
always fun,
and things like that.
as long as you get the chair's consent.
This is an adult show, but it does not cross any of those lines. So for anybody who is concerned with that, or the misogynistic shit that sometimes is out there with some performers, you won't see that at Hypnosis Unleashed. Now, like I said, it's an adult show. It's a very high energy show. But it is super fun, super entertaining. In fact, I don't know his scoop name, but Nate, one of the scoops, happened to be in town. He was in town for work. He was seeing Piff. He posted something about, wanting to know other stuff to do in town. I said, "Hey, come out to one of these shows if you're free. I'll get you in." We took care of that for him. He had a great time. So thank him. I don't know if you listen to this at all, but if you do, Nate, um, thank you for coming out. It's just such a fun show. I got to see it 5 nights in a row. Now, he, for the benefit of the students in the class, changed some things up from show to show. But even if he did the exact same show bit by bit, night after night, which generally speaking he does until he gets curveballs,
Right.
it's still such a very different show each and every night because of the audience interaction. So, to any of the magician connected people who may be listening to this podcast because of me, hit me up, especially if you're going to Magic Live. Because if you're going to Magic Live, I plan to get a group of people together and bring you all to Kevin's show one night. Whether or not, if he's able to comp it all for us, fantastic. If not, I will cover the cost of the show for everybody if it's not comped. Um, totally. I mean, even if you have, and really especially if you have zero interest in learning and performing hypnosis, you need to see this show from a showmanship standpoint. It is 100% worth it. You will
Nice.
learn so much. And then really behind the scenes, he and his wife Emily are just fantastic humans. I mean, the first thing that we learned about in the class was about ethics and how to keep people safe on stage. And it became very apparent throughout the rest of the week that this was not just him reading some line. This was not just him trying to protect himself from some liability standpoint to say, hey, if I teach
Hmm.
these people and they go out there and be assholes, I might get sued. He is 100% genuine. He absolutely has the concern of running, again, an adult show, but a clean show and not one that anybody's going to
What
walk
makes it
away.
adult?
I mean,
What's
there's
the?
dick jokes. He drops the F bomb. He
Okay,
there's definitely profanity
so
in
it's
it.
not it's not vulgar,
It's
but it's
not
also not
vulgar.
clean.
Okay, it's not
Right.
clean, wrong word, but
Yeah.
it is not inappropriate
Right.
despite there being adult themes.
Right. Yeah. He doesn't make you do embarrassing, misogynistic frat boy
Right.
shit.
You'll do stupid shit if you go get on stage.
Right. Did you
I'm
now
not saying
did you get on
that.
stage? Did you get
I did.
hypnotized?
There are various levels of being out. I don't think that I ever went like deeply fully under. But I could definitely tell, because here's the thing that you've got to understand about this class. We learn by doing. I did, I want to say by my best estimate, 7 or 8 what you would qualify as a show. I did the show or a version of the show, a little more and a little more each time,
Right.
7 or 8 times last week.
Where
And
you were the
where I was the
hypnotist.
one as the hypnotist, which meant
Got it.
3 of my classmates were sitting in the chairs while I was putting them into various or helping them get into various degrees of hypnosis, which means
Right.
if I did 7 or 8, that means that 21 or 24 times I sat in those chairs for my classmates while they did their 7 or 8
Right.
times. And I will tell you that there were times where I was literally just sitting there, and in my mind, they would say a line, I would say what basically would be about the next line. Like,
Hmm.
I'm previewing the movie. And when you focus on other things, even though those other things are the thing that's there, you don't get as deep. But there
Nope.
were times where I could literally, I swear to you, feel as if there was a string tied around my hands with a fucking bunch of balloons on it. I could feel
Right.
the goddamn string.
Right.
So it wasn't every time. So at various degrees, and there are various degrees of getting into a hypnotic state. And really
Right.
to dispel a lot of myths about this, it excuse me, it is not a power thing. It is not an overpowering thing. It is actually a very empowering thing if it's done right. Because the big secret, and it's a different world. This is not magic, so I can give you the secrets, and I won't feel any reservation about giving you
Well, all the
secrets.
secrets are out there. I mean, they're already out there. They already exist.
Well,
If
let's
you
be
want to
real.
know,
Most of the
uh,
secrets for magic are out there too. Some of
right,
them are a little more paywalled than others, but they're all out there.
they're all out there. Right.
Um, they're hidden between the name of an effect that you may not know. I'm not going to sit here, and if I'm doing something called X, I'm not going to say, okay, let me do this bit called X. You know,
Right. Right.
I'm going to do this bit called, hullabaloo, but really to the magician, it's called X. So you don't
Right.
know to get on YouTube and search for X, you're searching for hullabaloo, and those two are rarely connected. So it's a little
Right.
tougher in magic, but
Especially since
you,
there's so many things called X on the internet.
yes, and some of them multiples.
Right.
uh, I will never in my life hypnotize anybody. No matter how much I continue to do this, no matter how often I continue to do this, no matter how big I choose or audiences choose to allow me to take this, I will never hypnotize another person. People hypnotize themselves.
Right.
I will be nothing more than a guide to allow them to get into and to help them get into that hypnotic state. And then I steer the ship.
Right. Yeah.
And then
You don't
I allow them to put on the show.
right. You can't force anybody. You can't hypnotize. You can't force hypnotize nobody. I can't walk up to somebody on the street, even if I know all the techniques, and be like, "I'm going to hypnotize you now." Ooh. That's not a thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you cannot force anybody to do anything that they would not otherwise do. Now,
Right.
while they're on stage, you learn a little bit more about what they do.
What they be willing to do. That's
Um,
right.
but again, if done right, you're not embarrassing anybody. You're having them do fun and stupid and silly things.
Yeah.
But again, if you've got people humping chairs
Oh no,
and
I remember humping sex dolls.
real
Old,
or
old,
imaginary,
old fashioned blown real, old fashioned blown up, and going on dates with one, and then one was an alien.
interesting.
Uh, and I remember. It's funny how you kind of remember it outside of your body, right? It's like no, I remember doing that, but I don't have it as a memory of me
Almost like you
doing
were
it.
watching it.
Almost like I was watching it happen, but I know that it was me doing it. Like I still see it almost like a movie. But yeah, and I know I have video of it somewhere. Which
Yeah, because so for number one for liability reasons, but number two for marketing type of reasons, most hypnotists not only record their shows but also will make it available to the audience members.
yeah, it's also good
And quite
marketing.
frankly, you could buy if you go to Kevin's show, you could buy the a USB drive with the show on it, whether or not you have a friend that went up on stage or you went up on stage. And it's reasonably priced. You're basically paying a little bit more than the cost of the fucking thumb drive. Um, I think it's like 20 or $30, and it's well worth it if you went on stage or had a friend that
Did you
went on
get
stage.
video of you?
Oh, I have. So I did a full 25-minute show on the very
Right.
last day.
So you have
So
video of you being the hypnotist, and do you have video of you being hypnotized?
I have some from
Well,
yes.
if the other classmates now, when you did the show, was it just for the other classmates, or were there live? There was other live audience there.
There were some other live audience members too. But even though like I don't currently today at the time that I am recording this have the other three student shows, they are literally a text message away. Nobody in that
Right.
class would not send me their student show if I asked for it, and vice versa.
So you definitely want to ask for that. We can put that behind the paywall.
Yeah. Well,
I
I mean, I'm
honestly,
gonna.
as I've been thinking about this a lot, and again, if we have, do we have production music?
We
We have that sound effect of production. Okay, so I've been thinking. Of course, I've been thinking a lot about taking this to the next level, whatever, and like what will we put behind the paywall? Like our examples are people, there's stickers that go out, or there's bonus episodes that get recorded if you hit a certain amount or whatever. We're not anywhere near anything like that whatsoever. But as I've been thinking about what we could put behind those kind of paywalls, stuff like the videos of things that we talk about or experience, right?
Oh
Um,
yeah.
we could
I mean,
put like
listen.
those kind of experiences behind paywalls.
I will tell you right now, and let me be clear that I love magic, I love mentalism, and it's not going away. But boy, oh boy, I am all the fuck in on hypnosis. This
Yeah.
shit is.
Now what you got to do
Let's,
is you got to work on marrying those two together.
no, not at all.
It can be done.
Shouldn't be done. Shouldn't be done because full disclosure, and I know I'm not giving away any secrets right here by saying this. everything I do in my mentalism act is bullshit, and everything
Well,
in the
yeah,
hypnosis show is absolutely real. And to try to blend those two would be to do a disservice to the other.
but wouldn't
Here's the thing:
what
there's
if you what if
nothing.
but what if you made like what if you started off with your mentalist, right? And you're showcasing this mentalist act. And again, it is bullshit, and we know it's bullshit. And then what if from there you blend it into, and this is just me spitballing. This probably won't work. I'm understanding that, but I'm free thinking as it goes because this is a podcast and we need
Yeah,
cool free thought podcast information and content. So, um, what if, uh, what if you say that? That was we did you do a mentalist da da da. Now everything I just did right now, bullshit. It's great. Sure, I can understand. Yes, I can make you believe that I can read your mind. Now, how about I don't have to be the one to make you believe? How about I show you how to make yourself believe?
I think that you run the risk that inherently there's a lot of trust that's involved in somebody going up on stage to volunteer in a hypnosis show. If you lead with bullshit, you
They
may
won't
not
trust
be
you
able to.
anymore. Right.
You will get less people to the promised land.
That makes sense. That makes
And
sense.
I will tell you, and again, my experience is literally limited to the past week, but I will
Right.
say that I've had an amazing teacher in this process. I cannot anybody who's considering learning this, I will tell you, go learn it from Kevin. Hit me up. I will talk to you at length about why he's fantastic and it's where you should start. And
And
don't
so the
start
good
with
is once we make our way, because eventually we'll have to make our way back to the states. We'll definitely make a stop in Vegas, and when we do, I'll let everybody know we're there, and we'll make a trip to go see the hypnotist show.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I had started talking to him months before the course to kind of get a ground rule, an understanding what is this, what isn't this, is this for me, is this something that I want to do? Clearly, I got enough of the boxes that I needed checked to know that it was something that I wanted to do. And that as that dialogue continued, getting the information, hey, what should I do before I come out there? I've got a
Right?
bunch of books, I've acquired a bunch of books.
How do you
People
prep?
people have given me books, and he says, don't do a damn thing.
Oh, okay.
Come out here because here's the thing.
Get
There
out there
were
raw.
it's not that it's wrong, but there were
No,
people
not
back
wrong.
in the
Raw. Raw.
raw.
RAW.
Yes. Um Back in the day, people thought, and you will find in books this idea that you need to like wave magnets over people and do a whole bunch of other bullshit. None of that's necessary. And I can tell you that if you start trying to do stuff ahead of time before being taught properly, all you're going to do is spend way too much time breaking old habits and unremembering shit that's not right. So that was the best piece of advice I got for the whole week, I would say.
Nice.
Happened before the week. Um, but yeah, I mean, to see.
There's only four in your class, right? Only four
Correct.
people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So yes,
How were
hey,
they? How were the other people?
oh, fantastic! What a week. I mean, everybody's going to be great. Everybody's in different
All
parts of the
dudes.
country. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This time,
Right.
um, I can't wait till he does it again because I've got a couple friends that are interested in learning it. One gal.
Now, is there like a level two you can do? Like, does he up it or what he did this time? That's
Do
he
you want to know
did.
what level 2 is? Level 2 of hypnosis, quite frankly, is something that you've been telling me for a long time.
Improv.
Take an improv
You
class.
damn right.
Because once you know how to get people there, it's just a matter, what makes the show is what journey do I want to help these folks go on? And all of that is what bits we're going to do And all of that comes from improv. There's a handful of things that if I told you 3 or 4 routines, you've probably done them in the show that you were in, or you've seen them in a show.
Right.
World's Greatest Bodybuilder, doing bodybuilder poses, that's a fucking standard. You
Easy.
would be hard pressed to go to a stage hypnosis show and not see a bodybuilder routine.
Correct.
Um, Ones that are
Hot and
common,
cold are
hot
common.
and cold.
The changes of temperature.
Yeah, temperature
Uh,
changes, driving cars, riding a roller coaster. Um, he doesn't do it every night, but god damn, one night he did the Martian routine, where you've got a handful of people who can only speak Martian, and one of them is a translator.
nice.
It was, and it was the night that I was actually on stage with him, because I actually did a piece in his show one night. Actually, it was the bodybuilder routine that I did in his show. That Martian routine is, I'm like, why is this not in your show every single night?
Right.
It's like the greatest thing
It's
I've
crazy.
seen.
It's wonderful. I've done it. It's insane. It's
It,
insane. The one who's a translator it's just nuts.
yeah.
People are speaking Martian, which means you're just speaking gibberish.
And really, the answer to the question from him as to why he doesn't do it every night is that you need to know that you've got somebody on stage that's going to be a good translator. If you don't have a
Right.
good translator, and he's
Yeah.
learned, obviously, over the years, the telltale signs that this person will or won't be a good translator.
Right.
The Martian routine actually came in because there was not somebody on stage that particular night who had a spouse in the audience.
Ah.
And there's a routine that he does that involves the spouse in the audience pretty much every night, unless obviously there's not a qualifying
Right.
couple, which there wasn't that night. That was what he pivoted to, and it blew my mind.
Well, that's
Seeing
awesome.
it all from stage is a totally different perception.
Right.
And
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Good
yeah,
stuff.
it was fantastic. I'm looking forward to doing more of it. I'm actually going to be doing, so a friend
Now,
of mine here
oh, go ahead.
a
Uh-huh.
friend of mine here in Elkton and I were lined up. We were doing a show it's actually one of the days in the middle of Matt and my run in July. So on the 28th, we'll be doing the Havergate Grace Opera House. Not Matt, but I'll be there. And I've decided now that I'm going to do a hypnosis show there. It's a
Nice.
fundraiser for the
Are
Boys and
tickets
Girls Club.
available? Are tickets available?
Not quite yet. They will be
Okay.
soon.
Maybe we should put that link in the thing once tickets are available.
Will do, yeah. So, yeah, that's going to be in Havre de Grace, Maryland. It's going to be on July 28th.
What's the name of the place?
Havre de Grace Opera House.
You're saying that so fast. Is it Havre de Grace?
Havre de Grace.
Havre de Grace. Because
Yes.
it's like when you gotta go, when you gotta be nice, you gotta have the grace.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
You've said it right.
Got it. You don't want to have the asshole. You want to have the grace.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're going to
don't
see.
want to have the dirt. You want to have the grace.
Yeah, you get to see my friend Bernardo. He's going to do. We were kind of try to put together a duo show, but he's got a lot of individual bits. I've got a lot of individual bits. It's a hell of a lot of work to do 2-person bits if you're not used to doing 2-person bits.
Right.
And I'm like, so you want to just do a show and then I'll do the hypnosis show afterwards? And he's like, yeah, dude, let's do it. So
Sweet.
When you start seeing stuff out there, if you're in that Maryland area, in the northeast quadrant of Maryland, and you start seeing something called Between Two Minds, which was going to be the name of the show anyway, it still fits for the hypnosis,
Nice.
doing the hypnosis. That's going to be it. I just got dates.
See, that'd be a good name for that one show if you did mentalism in one half of a show and then hypnotism in another half. Between Two Minds would be a great name for that that show.
With teaming up with Bernardo, he does a lot of mentalism. People who want to see both in one night will get to. It's just going to be through 2 different performers. So I am about 99% certain that the Elkton Magic August show is going to be on the 24th so that we can miss Full Lust taping. We can miss Magic Live. It'll be after that. And we're going to do the Between Two Minds show there. And then we're going to have an opener who's a more traditional classical magician open for us
Oh,
in
cool.
August. So
Awesome,
that'll
sir.
that'll most likely be August 24th. So we're going to get that put together here shortly. Um, I gotta figure out what that's gonna look like on Brogan's end, because there's art being done for the Between Two Minds thing, and it's, do we
Love
use
it.
the standard Elkton Magic art and have Brogan do it? Do we use the standard Between Two Minds art that's being solidified for this other thing?
You
Because
both.
I mean, Bernardo's great. He's got a fantastic mind. He's a great performer. I haven't seen him do a whole show yet, because just in what we've been doing here, trying to facilitate performances for actual headliners, he just hasn't had the opportunity. No, rarely have I had the
Right.
opportunity to do a full show, at least here locally.
You know who
And
else has some amazing minds? Our listeners.
our listeners do have some amazing minds. Yes, in
I
fact, we've
believe we
got.
have an audio postcard.
Yes, we do. Am I supposed to play this? Right.
Audio
Yeah, because that's
postcard.
what
For
we
now,
have for
yeah.
that for now.
For now, yes.
The audio postcard. So again, like all of our audio postcards, which if you want to drop one in, you could either go to bigsexynomad.com or go to prankcall.me. It'll take you to the thing to just basically record us an audio message. We don't listen to these. We don't listen to these. So whatever you're about to hear, we're hearing for the first time too.
Right now, we're going to react to it. So here we go.
So I don't, and because I loaded this into the system, we do see the name as it comes in, but I loaded this into
You
the
see the name when it
system.
comes in. I have no idea.
I
Tell
see the
me.
name when it comes in. I loaded this into the system like 2 weeks ago, and right now, sitting here, it's labeled as 332547210-44100.
This is probably more information than our listeners need.
It's very much too much more info. I don't know what this is. I don't know who this is from, but we'll find out here soon. So
All right,
let's
here we
have it.
go.
Hey guys, this is Michael McKenna, finally getting around to sending you an audio postcard.
Yay.
It's been
Hey, Mike.
quite a long few months for me, but it's been a productive one. Family is back together, and I have gotten more auditions in the professional acting world than I have gotten in quite a long time.
That's
I
wonderful.
really need to send you an email talking about all that, and especially
yes, you
the
do.
drama that happened during the move, because it's a lot to take in, including a lot of mishaps with travel and dealing with the moving company.
Oh,
But
yeah, can't wait
that
to
will
hear
come
that.
in due time. In the meantime, I just want to let you know that I am alive and well and feeling very homesick, but I can relax in comfort knowing I have you as a travel buddy to combat that. Talk to you soon.
Sweet.
That's awesome. Michael, thank you for chiming in and giving us that. Was amazing. For those who don't know, Michael McKenna is a dear friend of mine from Las Vegas. We met doing Shakespeare together, and then karaoke, hanging out at karaoke a lot. He was one of my first actors when I was doing when I was the artistic director for the Shakespeare Institute in Nevada, and I had auditions. He became one of the actors. He came. He was very, very helpful in that field, and it's great. And he recently moved to New Jersey.
Oh, sweet.
To get back to family and to study acting. So really great to hear these auditioning a lot. I hope he's booking stuff as well. So, Michael, if you're listening, be sure to chime in. Send us a digital postcard and let us know. I want to hear the story about this moving company. Yeah, don't put the cart before the horse. Don't just tell. Yeah, definitely send us that in. Write that in because I definitely hear that whole story of the horror story that moving companies can be. And then I want to hear what editions are going on. If you booked anything, let us know.
And depending on where you are in New Jersey and how far you might be from Elkton, hit me up. Don't hesitate to hit me up. Let me take care of you for a ticket for one of the upcoming Elkton Magic shows.
Yeah, definitely reach out. That's amazing.
And if the one you want to see is Diddleman in July, hit me up soon because I had somebody take 50 tickets off of it already. Woo! So that one's going to be killer.
That's going to be amazing. Can't wait till that happens. Yeah, be sure. Oh, if there's tickets for that available, we should definitely put that in the description of this
Okay. Yeah. I always
this
forget.
episode.
I never put those in there. I definitely should. Because I know anybody listening to us adjacent to the ICS crew knows who Diddleman is and may be
Right.
interested in at least look, even if you're nowhere near here and you might potentially be connected to people on social media who are, it would please me greatly if you'd help spread the word about any of that kind of stuff. Right now, we've got a room that has capacity to 160 seats. We are averaging about 100 per show, which is fantastic. I mean, most performers are tickled pink to come and perform for 70, 80, 90, 100 people. But boy, oh boy, excuse me.
Yeah.
For me,
Oh, get some
I
water.
want fucking sellouts every week, so or every
Right.
month. So it pisses me off because I feel like I could be doing more. So,
Awesome.
that's my
Yeah.
and I always have to center myself when I get mad about what the numbers are the week before and the week leading up to, because typically by the time we get to the week of a show, like we are right now,
Right.
we'll be 2 weeks past that show by the time this airs. But when I get to that point, sometimes I have to center myself and I say, bro, if you were in the old venue, you'd have a waiting list right now. You're good.
Right. Right. And you'll get there. You'll get there with this current venue. You'll get to where this
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
venue has a
growing.
waiting list, and it's growing.
There's new names every time.
Right.
It's not always the same people in the seats. And listen, for anybody who's out there and hears me ranting is like, oh shit, he wants me to go to all these shows. No, not
Yes.
everybody can make every show. Yes, if you can.
He wants you
Yes,
to
if
go
you
to every show if you can make every show, but it's
if you
don't feel
can,
obligated.
of course.
We
But I
get it. We
don't
understand.
expect anybody to come to every show. We have lives, we have other things going on.
But if
I've
you have the
started
ability to do so every show, be there every show. Be that guy. Be that guy or gal that shows up at
those
every single
guys,
show.
and we have some of those guys and gals. They're fantastic. They're amazing. And they get to see some really amazing shit because, again, I'm sparing no expense that I can avoid sparing to bring in as top-notch performers as the room will hold.
Yeah.
So
Now, when this episode drops, I think will be after Penn and Alejandro have done their show in Valencia, Spain, which
I'm looking at the calendar.
it'll either
Keep
be
talking.
coming up or it will have just finished. And it's interesting to hear them. And it's weird to be in Spain.
If you are listening to this episode, those shows start on the day that it drops. Those shows start tomorrow.
Oh, nice. So if you hear this episode and you happen to be in Spain, which having met a lot of the people that I've met here are people here. So if you can get to Valencia, go see Jandro and Penn perform at the Teatro. If it's not sold out, it might already be sold out. But if you can get there, definitely go check out that show. It's going to be amazing. From what I hear and understand, I unfortunately can't make it out. I wouldn't be able to make it to Valencia. I'm looking on how to get there. I just don't have the time or the means to make it to Valencia, especially not knowing where we're going to be at that time anyway. So, but if you're hearing this, tomorrow is going to be an amazing set of shows. And I think Moxie will have performed in Edinburgh by then as well. So
no, that's July or August.
Is that July?
I think it's either July or
I think it's really close by. I think. I know. Well, no, I think it's soon. I think Moxie's in London right now.
Friday, August 4th through Monday, August 28th.
Oh, so it's August. Okay, so yeah, if
Yeah.
you can get to Edinburgh to see Moxie Gillette perform, do that as well.
Cam and Moxie, I believe, is the name of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's the name of the show.
And they get to use the Penn and Teller ampersand.
Yes,
which is awesome. That I think that's really cool and great.
And I believe that Mox is also doing the the clear cups and balls.
Yes. Yeah. So it's gonna be great. So if you can check that out, go check that out. Amazing stuff. Oh, I think we have a digital postcard, but I think we can get to that next episode.
Okay, sounds good, man.
Yeah, we're coming up on the end of this one here, and I want to be sure to give whoever sent us the mail decent amount of time to respond to it as opposed to quick fire at the very end of these things.
Oh yeah. So send us some.
Yeah, thank you again to Michael. Appreciate that. Yeah, the same way. Be sure to send that in. You can see we play it and we respond to it. And yeah,
Michael,
and
very
again,
very serious offer. If you want to come down to Elkton, just shoot me a message on the DMs or something like that. I will hook you up. Anybody else who leaves us a digital postcard that is geographically in this area, don't just do it to be a schlep and get a free ticket to the show. Because if you ask me, I'll give you one. I want butts and seats, but
here's the deal: if you reach out, make sure you say you heard it on the podcast.
Yes.
The key words are you heard it on the podcast. I would love some tickets to see the show. Do you have any free or discount tickets available?
You will always get a discount.
Right.
I can guarantee you that. Depending on the performer and depending on the nature of the performance, I may be able to comp it.
Right. But the key phrase is I heard it on the podcast, safe travels. That safe key phrase will cue in all that extra specialty.
Going to open a lot of doors with that hashtag safe travels.
You really will. Absolutely. Awesome, sir.
Big Sexy and I might be the only thing on the other side of those doors, but you're going to open a lot of doors with that hashtag.
They'll be open. And believe me, when you open those doors, you'll be happy to see us.
Yeah.
So now, when's your next trip to Vegas?
Probably not till August Magic Live.
Got it. Nice.
So again, anybody listening to this, even if it's Big Sexy's entertainment friends that want to go see this show when I'm there during Magic Live, hit me up. I'm happy to either get you whatever discount or comp I'm getting. I think you should see the show sooner than that. But Absolutely. if you do and you love it and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm going to go back in the first week of August, just hit me up. I'll do what I can to make it happen.
Yeah. Even though he does go a little bit blue in his show, is it an 18 and over show or like only 18 and over or?
He has it labeled as PG-16.
Perfect.
That's what he has in the marketing stuff.
Good deal. So yeah, if you're a parent of a teenager who likes this kind of stuff, feel free to go. Unless you're
at least, and for me, at least for now, when you see it labeled as Between Two Minds, it's going to be PG. I'm going to keep it as clean as I possibly can.
Right. Good stuff. All right, my man. Anything else you got for our world travelers before we get out of here?
No, nothing new. Just hit us up, man. Keep talking to us, and we'll keep talking back to you. bigsexynomad@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Prankcall.me if you want to do it on the audio version.
Just just be aware if you email me, right, or you message me directly on the socials, I will put a request in that you also send it to bigsexynomad@gmail.com as well. That's happened with a couple of digital postcards that we got for the content, and you can just circumvent that by just literally sending it to the email address. If you have a question about where I'm at, where I am, and what I'm doing, right? If it's just a hey, how are you? You can just hit me directly up. That's fine. I appreciate that. I'll still respond there. Like I'll respond both places, but just be aware I'll also ask you to send an email form so that we have content here because we are looking to build content. Also, we're looking to build followers. If you like the podcast and you're enjoying it, please share it with as many people as you possibly can. If they don't know what it is, have them reach out. If they listen to it and they're like, it was okay, let them know that we're open to suggestions. Tell them to hit us up on social media and, let us know how we can.
Also, let me tell you something about the t-shirts that wear is Big Sexy, WEAR is bigsexy.com. They garner a lot of attention. I had 2 different ones. I was wearing them in downtown Vegas, and it's a conversation starter.
And I'm frozen on my end right now. It's one of the ways to try to make it better. It's have
safe travels.